Rajon bringing it every day at practice now, and it's showing in his performance on the field. He's like running hard. The coach Leslie has been hard on all our back about running hard and getting those tough yards, and Ray has been able to couple that with his speed and been able to have some really productive games out there.
When's the first? When did you notice a difference in Rajon, whether it was his approach or what he was physically doing or whatever?
I noticed in camp, man, because you're just seeing Rajon hitting more and more big plays against our own defense in camp, and it was kind of like you had high expectations for him going into the season.
I know you guys wanted to go out with a bowl, but how important is it that you seniors still set an example this week and try to leave the younger guys something to build on?
I feel like it's very important, man, because it really speaks to our character as a senior class that we leave out the right way and that we finish out our career right, even though it's not how we wanted it to.
What have you seen Dobbs since Saturday night's game? How's he handled his struggles? What's he done?
I feel like he responded great, man. He really responds. He has a very professional mentality. He come out to work every day, and he came right back into practice today, and he wasn't missing a beat.
Thanks, James.
James, for you, the highest rushing team total since, I think, 2004. I know obviously all your goals haven't been met this year, but just how important was that for you guys to be able to produce that much?
I feel like that's really important, especially these past couple of years coming off season where we weren't generating the rushing yards that we had wanted to. So having been able to get Rajon and Marlon out there and get them some good yards is really good for us because it's something that we really focused on in the offseason.
Just how much of a good note then does that make you want to finish it off with an exclamation point on Saturday?
I mean, that adds everything too. We really want to get Rajon to get to 1,000 yards because he looks out for us so much in pass protection and here at practice and just busting his butt to get better for us. So I feel like we owe it to him as offensive line to get him to 1,000.
That made that trip to Kentucky 2 years ago. What would it mean to kind of get that taste out of your mouths to get revenge from that? Is that something you're talking about at all?
Yeah, because that's something like that. That was a terrible day that day, and that's something that we'll never forget. And that's something that haunts you when you have a loss like that in the streak like that we did that year. And it's something that we just want to get back in this season with a win, so these guys can go off into the offseason with a win.
You notice, man, obviously Josh has gone through his struggles this last few weeks, being a first-year starter and everything. Have you noticed any change in his approach and his poise or confidence from kind of the same guy he was a few weeks ago?
Like I said, Josh is a very professional. He focuses with he has a very professional approach to the game. He comes to practice every day working to improve on his mistakes and just to become a better quarterback and a better football player for this football team.
You approach this week thinking, this is my last Tuesday practice, this is my last Wednesday practice, this is,
Yeah, I feel like that's how every senior is approaching it because it's right there. It's our last week of playing football for the University of Tennessee, and like Coach Jake said today, you need to get your money's worth. So we're coming out here every day trying to get everything we can out of these last week of practice and into this last game.
Kind of turn on the TV in a couple years and see Tennessee football. What do you think it's going to look like in a couple years?
I feel like it's going to look like a very talented football team that plays with unbelievable effort. I feel like that's what they coach here, and that's what they building their program on. That's the foundation that they building it on, is playing for each other and playing with effort. And I really can't wait to watch these guys as they progress and begin to go on into the future.
Do you feel like, I know obviously this season hasn't gone the way you wanted to go, but y'all did beat South Carolina, and plus a couple other big wins. Do you feel like you'll be able to look back on this season and feel like you were part of it? Even if a couple years from now, when they're on to maybe a bigger and better record, do you feel like you can at least take some comfort in knowing that without even the record wasn't great, but y'all helped?
I mean, because it's a growing pains to come in with a new system and just building a program. Like, he keeps telling us, focusing on the process and just trying to help set that foundation this year.
Were you one of the seniors who's kind of talked to the freshmen about some things earlier in your career that, maybe if you'd been able to learn some things a little bit faster, your career would have been different? Or since you were a guy who played so much as a freshman, do you really have any regrets like that?
I mean, you think about, like, if you might have had a red shirt or anything like that, but like you said, we all had to go out there and we had to play early, and I feel like you get a lot of valuable experience from that, but I feel like some valuable things come from sitting back and learning from older guys too.